Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have yet another video about Jessica Cogswell. Now, we haven't done a video about Jessica Cogswell in a little bit, but there was one recently a couple of weeks ago, and now we have another one. Apparently, she is deciding to take it upon herself, because how else will she be relevant if she wasn't doing this? She decided to attack Stellar Blade and the anti-censorship petition that was started by grooms over there on Twitter. And the reason why she's doing it is because she quite simply thinks that all of this behavior about anti-censorship is unhinged behavior. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Cogswell, the person who will spam her Twitter, attacking literally everybody who disagrees with her, is considering this to be unhinged behavior. I think it's quite ironic and hilarious given the situation, but here we are. You can't really expect too much from a GameSpot editor, but that's basically the truth of the situation. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. And again, I'm sorry my voice sounds like shit because I'm still sick. Hopefully it goes away very soon. GameSpot editor Jessica Cogswell describes petition and plan to uncensor Stellar Blade as the most unhinged behavior I've seen in quite some time. Now, let me say this in the beginning of the video when most of the journalists who watch me are watching the video because we know they have ADHD and they can't stay for the whole time. Quite simply, the entire discussion around Stellar Blade is ridiculous, right? And the reason why it's ridiculous is because you have so many disingenuous people that are out there on X right now trying to make this seem as if it's just chuds who are angry that they can't fap to a character, right? They are completely disingenuous. They don't actually want to have a true conversation over censorship. They just want to call you a chud. They want to say that you are mad because you can't fap to a character. They want to say that you just want to see titties, you want to see this, you want to see whatever, right? So when you have this conversation with these people, understand that they're not really trying to have a conversation with you. They're just simply trying to attack you and make you seem crazy while they look crazy. It's a ridiculous thing. I've seen this all the time, and let's be real, what's happening with Stellar Blade is in fact censorship. I don't care if it's 1% censorship, I don't care if it's 90% censorship. At the end of the day, censorship is censorship. You cannot say, and I've seen a lot of people do this, shout out to Mighty Keith, I've seen people flat out say, hey, I would rather there be no censorship. And then in the same sentence, they will say, well, I'm not going to get angry because instead of seeing 50% titty, I can only see 40%. What the fuck? Did you just hear what you just said? You cannot say that. You can, like, those two things cannot go together. It doesn't make sense, right? So you get these people that are being completely fucking disingenuous. They want to fence it. They want to pretend like they're on the side of anti-censorship. But then when you really get down to it and you have the conversation with them, you realize that, oh no, these people actually don't have any virtues. They actually don't have any morals. They're willing to bend anything as long as they can get their game. That's basically it. They're willing to bend and bend and bend. And before you know it, 10 years from now, they're going to be saying, like all these other losers, how did we get here? How did this happen? I wonder, I've never heard of a company like this, right? Shout out to Actman, right? Like I've never seen something like, they'll make up whatever fucking excuse when it's been in their face this entire time, and they don't ever want to admit it. Then it says GameSpot editor Jessica Cogswell took to social media to decry Mark Kern's petition and plan to uncensor Stellar Blade as the most unhinged behavior I've seen in quite some time. Former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern laid out an 8-step plan and petitioned to uncensor Stellar Blade after the game's publisher Sony and developer Shift Up Corporation reneged on their promise to deliver the game uncensored. The official Stellar Blade account made that promise on April 21st, writing on X. Stellar Blade offers the same uncensored version in all countries, including the Japanese version. Now, listen very clearly, okay? This right here is the problem, okay? This is why there is backlash right now. Had they not said something like this, had they not said the game will be uncensored everywhere in the world, had they not used these comments, had they not used these words, we would not be in this situation right now. Sure, you're going to have some people get angry, and you're going to have people call out the obvious censorship that we knew was coming, but the fact that you flat out said on Twitter that these are going to be an uncensored release, like this is going to be the game that you've been seeing in trailers. This is going to be the game that you've been seeing in our showcases. This is going to be the game uncensored. Here you go. Enjoy with all the titties, all the ass, all the blood, all the gore, all the Souls-like gameplay, everything. it's going to be uncensored. That is what is causing the issue. That is what is causing the problem, because then you're going to have people try to gaslight you. They're going to say, well, you don't understand. It may not be censorship. It's just artistic direction. The creator decided that, hey, that little bit of fabric in the middle, the modernity cloth, as I like to call it, that was important. And that was part of his artistic vision. That was in the final version of the game. Really? Really? So you think that's the case? So why is it that the disc version of the games have version 1.0 on it, which is the final version of the game, mind you, which is why it's on the disc, and the day one patch has version 1.2, which offers New Game Plus and the censorship? So why is it that you're trying to say this is the final artistic vision when that wasn't the case? The final artistic vision is in the final copy of the game, which is what is on the disc, and the disc is 1.0, and that is the uncensored version of the game with the censorship graffiti not there, with the outfit censorship not there. That was the actual real vision. And the director came out and flat out said that the vision of his game was the one that was on the disc. That was his vision of the game. So all of you gaslighting fucking losers, they want to make this conversation into something it's not. You got to realize that at the end of the day, you can be disingenuous. You could lie straight through your teeth. You could protect your ideology. It's perfectly fine. But you got to do it better. You cannot be easily called out like this. Like, it is such an obvious fucking disingenuous gaslight, this entire situation. It says the game has since censored various outfits for the game's main character, Eve, as well as some of the gore. Rodrigo Yabanez shared screenshots of how one outfit, the Holiday Bunny, was censored. Now, my biggest issue with this is not just the outfits, okay? Not just the gore. My biggest issue with this is this game. What is this game rated, ladies and gentlemen? This game is rated M. M for mature. M for adults. M for people should be able to handle this stuff and not get offended. M for you shouldn't be censoring things for modern audiences that don't exist when mature audiences should be able to handle stuff like this. That's why you give this game an M rating to begin with, right? Like, that's the whole point. The fact that there is censorship in an M-rated game, you guys got to understand what M-rated means. Like, Manhunt was rated M. Like, think about that for a second. Think about that game, Manhunt. Obviously, it was made in a time where people weren't so damn soft and fake. But the point is, Manhunt is an M-rated game. And this game shares that same rating with Manhunt. And it's not even close. Not even fucking close. So, again, when you rate a game as M, you shouldn't be doing stuff like this. You shouldn't be giving her modernity cloths. You shouldn't be doing that. This is the modernity cloth right here. That's why I call it. You guys can coin that term and make it trending on Twitter and tell them I sent you. This is the modernity cloth. They gave it to Tifa. They're giving it to Eve. They're going to give it to every single Eastern female character. Let's specify that really quick. They don't do this to Western games because Western games are deemed as safe horny, ladies and gentlemen. Western games allow you to sexualize their characters because they fit the narrative. They're usually extremely ugly, or they have some sort of weird fetish in it, which is like furry based, demon based. Who really knows? You could fuck a bear in Baldur's Gate 3. It doesn't matter. You can literally do everything, but that's not sexualized. But God forbid you see a standard beauty Asian female from the East, and all of a sudden, you got to give it the modernity cloth. It says Manga Lawyer also shared a before and after screenshot regarding the game's reduction in gore. The game reduced the amount of blood splatter after Eve kills a demonic creature. Given these changes, current launch an 8-step plan, which we talked about many times on stream, so definitely go check it out on Hypnocast. Cogswell reacted to this, writing on X, "This is the most unhinged behavior I've seen in quite some time, and I have a 2-year-old. Cogswell is I'm actually surprised somebody procreated with you. Cogswell is no stranger in attacking gamers despite writing for an outlet that attempts to cater to them. Back in March, she wrote, "Man, I don't know how all these incel gamer dudes are expecting games to have hot characters and characters representative of them at the same time." She added, "Laugh my ass off at these replies, get a life, weirdo. When did we ever say we want the representation? Every other fucking time your collected tweets is about how woke characters and women are in every role, and you miss cis hetero white men being allowed in things." Okay, so nobody said that. First off, nobody said that. You're trying to assume that everybody who's against the woke stuff is a cis hetero white male. That's not the case. That's been proven to be factually incorrect. And yet you continue to make the notion as if it is. Because if you don't, I'll put it to you like this. If they have to admit that non-white men are against this stuff, then their entire narrative falls apart. Everything. Literally the entire basis of their argument completely falls in the fucking ocean, and it's impossible to go save it. That's why they constantly spew the same stuff in the hopes that people will pick up on it and hopefully agree or share it out as if it's the truth, when it's not. It's not about cis hetero white men. People are tired of bullshit tourists in the gaming scene like yourself who are trying to pretend like they care about games when it's really not not about that. You're looking for a means to push your activism. You love activism. That's really what you want to do. And you're looking at gaming as a means to do social change because you think like you're just this fucking amazing activist. You're like the next Martin Luther King for all we fucking know. So this entire thing is stupid, ladies and gentlemen. And people like Jessica Cogswell is just another example of what happens when a tourist gets a little bit of a voice in the mainstream gaming industry. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.